thank you so much for joining my Instagram Live. My name is Makita, YEG writer. You voted and I deliver. Today's topic is how to socialize with your followers, potential followers, customers, clients, or just complete strangers on the internet. This topic can be specifically for people who are creating content. Maybe you want to be a vlogger, a blogger, an influencer, or just a well-known person in your city or industry. This also applies to entrepreneurs, business owners, etc. And I know I have a lot of new followers here since last year, so my name is Makita Waterman again. I'm a branding consultant, social media manager, and I am also a marketing writer. I've been helping different companies in my career solve problems, come up with different ways to go about doing online marketing when it comes to tone or website content, etc. I'm very, very passionate about what I do. I've been doing it for 6 years. I started off working in banking. That was for about a good 4 or 5 years. I left Toronto, moved here to Western Canada. I'm super happy about the move. I felt like at first that I was kind of working in finance. And hi, thanks so much for joining. And I decided to make the leap and do what I went to school for. So today's topic is social media engagement, or pretty much how to deal with different people here on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, etc., and how to go about building relationships that will actually make people want to click the link in your bio, subscribe to other social media sites that you have, etc. So if anybody has any questions, you can leave them below here, and I'll do my best to answer them. So the word social is in social media. I think, unfortunately, there are no handbooks with our social media apps, so a lot of people put out content out there, and they're hoping that it will attract people, but the ingredient of success that some companies and some celebrities or just people in general fail to realize. Hi, thanks for joining. The topic today is about how to socialize with people on social media so that you can build your reputation and grow your business. So I was explaining that some companies and people, they're putting out videos and photos and things of that nature, but the secret ingredient to success in social media is actually being social. Being social can pretty much answering your direct messages, actually paying attention to what your followers are putting out there, taking the time out of your schedule. That could be, here's what I used to do when some clients actually want me to sit in their offices is if I go to break, I'll check my phone for 5 minutes. I'll respond to people. I'll leave comments, or I actually will watch their videos, etc. And I'm constantly doing that, not just to be social, because everybody wants that human interaction when they're making a decision as to whether they want to purchase your services and products. But I also do this because the apps, especially Instagram, if you're not socializing, if they don't realize that you're sending messages and leaving comments or even replying, it kind of tells Instagram, and much like all the other apps, that your information, your videos and things like that are not that important. So they actually will not push out your content compared to somebody else who actually makes a vested effort. It can be 5 minutes a day. I used to do an hour a day on Instagram. I can't do that anymore. But try to be social with your audience. Unfortunately, we're living in a digital world even more than ever before. COVID-19 kind of pushed everybody into the Zoom meeting life, and everyone started flocking on social media. Social media rates were up by 20 to 50% in the first half of the lockdown/quarantine. And a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are working from home, doing business from home, which means they're checking their phones more often. So you definitely want to have that personal presence when you're online. If you have smaller accounts, have no fear. What I used to do, it's a bit of a strategy, but I'm sure a lot of people do this. I would actually follow hashtags of the city and then the word business, or I would follow different hashtags in different industries that matter to me the most. And I would actually look at the pages. Sometimes I would just go into the Discovery Channel 30 minutes a day, and I would look for things that resonate with me. So I'm definitely not one of those people who just comment on anything I see in the hashtag section of Instagram, but I try to look at things that actually mean something to me, something that somebody makes me feel good about, or I see something and it inspires me, or I see someone wearing a nice dress and I have to respond. And I would definitely say to do that again. These apps they're monitoring everything that we do, and I mean that in a good way, because if they see that you're, let's take, for example, that content, you're a content service provider. So if they see that you're communicating with businesses or potential customers in a certain industry, it will purposefully push out your content because the algorithm or the back end of these apps are trying to learn who you are. So I can't tell you how long you want to dedicate to following hashtags, looking through pictures and videos, and looking through the discovery page, but I would say be specific. Don't go into the celebrity page if you're not trying to create products and services for celebrities. Definitely stick with what you do, because the more you do that, the more people see your content, etc., etc. I also want to recommend that if you have certain people in your industry that have bigger audience than you, let's take, for example, I don't know, a big marketing guru, or maybe a social influencer. So I have so CLX Content says, I was just talking about this to a potential client. Absolutely. And if you follow people with a larger following and you actually comment on their content regularly, and sometimes you even reply to some of the people in the comments, I can't guarantee that people will follow you, but it's a footprint, and I'll tell you why. Many times people, hi, thanks so much for joining. Today's talk is about how to socialize with followers, complete strangers, trolling people, etc., to run your business efficiently. So I'll tell you that for myself, because I used to, in the first half of the quarantine, I would dedicate an hour per app. That's a whole lot of time, but I think it is part of the reason why it jump-started my growth. And people would come to my page, they would follow me, I'd follow back, and I would ask them, how did you find out about me? And they said, because you left a comment on somebody's page. I was like, wow, this girl is really, really nice. I checked your page, it looked professional, and that's why I follow you. I get a lot of people who say that they follow me not because they found me in a hashtag, but that they saw a comment that I left. So as a writer, some of you are great writers here on the line. Try to put effort into your absolutely, it takes dedication for sure, especially here. Unfortunately, as you know, Instagram is not as hot as TikTok as far as that growth where you can put something out there and 10,000 people see it in a week. So you kind of have to put a little bit more effort into Instagram. Don't let up. The last week of December, I literally had 300-something followers, and it kind of stayed there. And then when I started doing exactly what I'm telling each and every one of you to in my videos and everything else like that, I went from 300-something followers, and literally it stayed there for about 6 months, to having over 1,300 followers right now. And that, a lot of it had to do with me spending more time on the app, sending more direct messages. When you get new followers, send them messages. And I know if you're getting a lot of followers coming in, it might be overwhelming, but do it. And I say that because I'm sure many of you noticed when you click your followers here on Instagram, Instagram is now, I did some research on this for you, so I'm not talking out of the air. This is real stuff. You can Google it after we have our little chat here. But Instagram is trying to allow us to get rid of followers. And the reason why they're doing that is Instagram is trying to fix up the algorithm so that they can push your videos and all of your photos and everything that you do here on Instagram to the people that need to see you. Why is Instagram doing that? Instagram is doing all sorts of things right now because its biggest competitor is TikTok. Instagram is also offering TikTok creators brand deals to get them off of TikTok. So that's why when you click on your followers, you'll see you haven't interacted with this person in 30 days, but you've interacted with these people in the last 30 days. I'm not saying to go into there and just go crazy and start, unfollowing a bunch of people, but here are some things that you can do. Check to see if you've ever sent them a message or if they've ever sent you a direct message. So that's number one. Step two, do you see this person's content in your timeline every day? Step 3, does this person like your content? Do they check your stories? Do they comment on your stuff? If the answer is no to all these, you can do one of two things. And this is what I did in the beginning of COVID when I had a little bit more time on my hands. I would send a person a message, a voice note, or just a regular message, and I'd say, hey, I hope you and your family are doing well during this time. It looks here on Instagram that I haven't interacted or I haven't seen some of your content. Hi, thanks for joining, Ramsey. I haven't seen some of your content in the past 30 days. Just want to check to say hi. If you have any questions, let me know. Now, those people that didn't respond to me and we had no interaction since the first time we connected, I unfollowed those people. And I'm saying that because of this. I'm not trying to get anybody here to be cold-hearted, but your aim on Instagram or LinkedIn, anywhere else, is to build a community. And when I say build a community, that's to have people who follow you, follow people who are interacting with you, and then after about 30 or 90 days, I'd say about like 2 or 3 months, if those people followed you, you followed them, they're not interacting with your content, it's not good, and I'll tell you why. And I have a feeling that part of my growth started happening when I did this. I used to follow just around the same amount of people that followed me before I hit that growth mid-spring of this year. And I believe what happens with Instagram is it says, okay, Makita YEG Writer, she has 1,300 followers, and she's following 1,300 people. But out of the 1,300 people that she's following, only 500 of them in about 30, 90 days have connected with her, sent her a message, liked her stuff, looked at her story. And what happens is it's kind of telling Instagram my content is low value because I'm following 1,300 people, but only 200, 300 are corresponding with me. And that's why sometimes you might see celebrities or even social influencers, they have more followers than people that they're following. I can't speak for why people do that. Maybe it's because they don't want to see, dinosaurs and all this vulgar stuff, and they want to monitor and filter what they have access. But when you get a chance, click your follower page. Take a look at the little section that says haven't followed. If you have the time and if you care enough to do it, it's great. What they call customer retention, I'll say follower retention, which is just a fancy word for can I keep some of these followers? Because they're looking at that too. There are people who will look at that and say, I haven't corresponded with Makita. I put out great content. She doesn't like it. She doesn't look at my stories. Unfollow. And it's just really great to capture that community engagement here on Instagram, because it's the new way of building a brand, building a reputation, letting people know that you care, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not saying take an hour out of your day and follow, this is what I used to do, and again, only because the COVID, if you guys have time on your hands, challenge yourself to do this. But back in the day, several months ago, I would spend an hour on Instagram and I would literally like or comment the things that mattered to me or resonated with me. And I would do that until I got to the bottom and it said, you've reached a full day, or you're now going past 24 hours of content. Hi, thanks for joining. And so today's topic is about how to interact with your followers so that you can build a community and get them to either, be a part of your online tribe or convert some of those people into customers. So definitely check that out. The other thing I can say about comments on TikTok, I see this a lot. I get comments too from people who leave trolling comments, and 100% of the time the person has no videos on TikTok, they have no photo, and they're just, I don't know, maybe their life isn't happy and they leave trolling comments. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but you definitely want to know how to deal with it. I would say that if you get a trolling comment or an unkind comment, try to respond in the kindest way possible. If it's a harassing kind of comment and if the person's just coming at you from left field and you've never interacted, you might want to block that individual. You definitely don't want followers or a follower that is spamming your stuff, saying really unkind things and they don't know you. So that's where I'd probably block. But if you can handle it, just ask a question. question, just, I appreciate your feedback. If you have any questions, let me know. Send me a direct message. I did that once where I used a hashtag of a trucking industry hashtag because I try to have a variety of different audiences and industries. And somebody literally came on, again, the guy had a fire truck for a photo. I checked on the man's page or the woman's page. It was just nothing but fire trucks. And the person literally went on my comment and said, you don't own the trucking hashtag. Why are you using this hashtag? We don't care about your marketing. And I responded to that person and I said, well, look, why don't we carry this conversation in the direct messages? And I kindly replied and I said, I appreciate your feedback. At the same time, the only person or company or entity that owns hashtag is Instagram. And the person got scared, and I said, if you'd like, I can contact Instagram and ask and just verify. And I wasn't doing this to be facetious or kind. Maybe he was right. So I said to the person, I'm going to contact Instagram and see if I should only be using certain hashtags. And the person said, I'm sorry. Have a good day. Like, I don't want to end this. I don't want to continue this conversation. So try to take those negative comments that people leave and shift them into your direct messages, because the last thing you want to do is have a train of ignorance going back and forth, and a potential client or someone see that, or a stranger see that and say, I'm not following this person. They don't even know how to deal with negative comments. So Alona Damie said, respond to comments in the best way you can. Absolutely. You want to be professional. Remember, we're living in a day where a lot of people are going through different changes. People are hurting right now. So there's that saying that when someone's going through misery, they want to create misery. Don't take it personal. Trolling comments are what they are. If anybody has any questions about comments or trying to socialize with people here on Instagram, let me know. I'll keep going. Sometimes I see people reply with emojis, or they just say thank you. And a lot of people don't know, and because I dedicate between 25 to 45, I would say 25 to 30 hours a week. Misery enjoys company. There you go. That's it. I dedicate between 25 to 35 hours a week studying social media, and Instagram doesn't count. Like, if somebody puts a comment on your video and you reply and you say thank you, Instagram actually has to see that you have 4 words in your reply. If it's 2 words, that doesn't register as a social engagement, meaning even though you put thank you or you just put an emoji of a heart or a smiley face, it's not really telling Instagram I'm engaging with my audience, so it's not going to push out your content. So try to put a nice heartfelt sentence, I appreciate your help. What I'm doing, and you can check my comments, what I'm doing here on social media is if somebody leaves a comment, I'm actually telling people what my thought was when I took that selfie, or how I was feeling when I did that video, or if it was super hot and I was melting like ice cream outside when I was filming that video. Instead of just saying, because I used to do this, I didn't know any better, I would reply to people and say, thank you so much for your support, have a great day. But that's so generic, it's like robotic. You definitely want to respond to people when you say that. So if you do a selfie, or maybe you go to your first event in your city, now that cities are opening up, and somebody says, wow, you look so beautiful, respond and say, yeah, well, I woke up and I wasn't really feeling good that day, but my friend dragged me out of the house, and that's the selfie that you're seeing today. Try to be personal when it comes to your responses. So Aloma Damie says, wow, I'm just knowing about the comments on Instagram. CLX Content says, I knew to put more than 4 words, but I never knew why. Yeah, absolutely. Just a sentence. And if you don't have time to send messages to new followers, send a voice note. I do that on LinkedIn a lot. I do that on Instagram a lot. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people they bug out and they're like, wow, I've never had somebody send me a voice note before. But it's just personal. Don't overthink it like, oh, they've got my voice. If you're doing videos on Instagram, they have your voice. It's just a personal way of engaging with your audience. And when I was telling you earlier, when they look on their follower page and they see that they haven't corresponded with you in a while, but they get this fresh voice note as somebody who actually sounds like they care about their follower, that goes a long way. I've done that a couple of times, and people were like, I haven't been seeing your content, and now those people are liking my stuff, and they're commenting more. It's just great. The best thing that I can do is think of the way that you correspond with people on Instagram and other social sites as you would at work. Try to think of everybody as your online tribe, your online community, your online friends. And I know that sounds super crazy because you might not even meet 95% of the people that follow you as time goes by, but they are your community. They're the reason why you have views. They're the reason why you have likes and comments. If followers didn't exist, we would just be alone here on Instagram talking to ourselves looking crazy. So think of every interaction that you do as you're connecting with somebody's heart, because when it comes to branding and marketing ourselves, that's the key to success. That's the key to long-term success. Anybody who tells you anything opposite of that, don't listen to them, and try not to use celebrities as an example. They have 50 million, 5 million followers. Unless they hired a team of social media people to literally monitor every comment, which probably about 45% of them are negative comments anyways, let's not put those, let's not hold them as an example to follow by. But if we are individuals, entrepreneurs, content creators, we should be reaching out to people. We should be liking people's comment. We should be asking questions. So that's another thing. Ask questions. When people leave a comment and it's a genuine question, ask a question why, because it will be a train of conversation between you and that person. Other people might get involved into the conversation. What does that tell Instagram? It tells Instagram that you're engaging with your audience. And Instagram loves that. Why? Because the more we stay on these apps, the more Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Microsoft, LinkedIn, etc., they make money off of our time here. So make the most of it. And the way they reward us is by pushing our content to more people and by allowing us to take advantage of the little space of the algorithm that we actually have now, since there's so many people here on Instagram. What else can I say? If you have the opportunity to go live, I definitely would. When I first started, I would go live for 10 minutes, and then I would get off. I would do that once a week, once every 2 weeks, and then I started going from 10 minutes to 20 minutes, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I think the longest I've ever had was about a 45-minute live. And get comfortable with getting in front of the camera. I truly believe that the companies and brands that don't get in front of a live or don't do webinars or don't show up for their audience online, I think that's not good for branding, because COVID, again, it's pushing people into wanting to see who you truly are. They don't want to know your address. They don't want to know, what toothpaste you use every day. They just want to see a live human being in front of a camera, in front of a video. And if you're not comfortable with doing that, use a model. Wix.com, I use that. It actually gives me like a generic video where it has like royalty-free music on the videos, and I choose not to use that because I choose to show up for myself. But if you're uncomfortable with doing it, just do it one step at a time, and you'd be surprised how many people will root you on if you just are honest. I'm super nervous, and people will tell you if they really mean it, you're doing great, keep going, I'd love to see more from you. So that's it in a nutshell when it comes to socializing with people online. It is the only way that you can grow here on Instagram, and I'm telling you that because I always like to use myself as an example. I've got nothing to hide here. The receipts are on my page. You can go back a year from now and you can see how I rarely engage with people. I was literally sitting at 200-something, 300-something people the last week of December, and my account has grown because I treat my account like a business. And I know that might sound weird, like how can we treat Instagram as a business when we don't own it? You own the space here because it's free. So try to show up for people, be kind, be friendly, don't worry about negative comments if they don't know your products and services. People are hurting right now, so it's more about them and less about you. And just try to show up more for people. Take advantage of IGTV. Show up once a week with a video. If you have a team, ask the most extroverted person on the team to show up and go live and represent your company. But that's what people want to see. And I can say for myself, I have a lot of people that are following me. I don't follow a lot back, and I've unfollowed a good portion of people, unfortunately, after COVID. There are a lot of companies, for whatever reason, they stopped posting. And to me, it doesn't make sense to follow an account that's idle and not active. And so it's the hardest to market yourself. Yeah, it is. I think the way I really look at marketing is just really kind of the way that I would be at a networking event, and it's just really sharing my story, sharing tips and advice. Really, in my mindset, when I'm sitting here talking to you, I feel like I'm talking to my online friends. I feel like I'm giving my best to you, and when I make it more about you and less about me, I'm not nervous anymore. I don't really care if it looks like I have bags under my eyes because I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I had a project to do all day. So just try to be yourself. Try to put yourself in people's shoes. People are very, very cautious about where they spend their money right now, and they want to spend their money in people who care. And I don't mean just putting a little photo up once a week and you disappear. I'm talking about you're showing up, you're answering questions, you're doing blogs, you're doing vlogs, you're doing lives unannounced, you're doing lives announced, and you're just showing up for your audience. That's how people will feel more confident to get out of their house when we're so used to being glued to home, and people will take their hard-earned money and spend it on you if you show them that you care. But it has to be genuine, because as you know, a lot of celebrities, for some reason or another, this is a very weird year. Ellen DeGeneres and all these celebrities who I thought were like angels, they're all being exposed right now, right? But before all of this crazy moment, these people made us feel good. I liked watching Ellen DeGeneres and seeing her smile and seeing her dance as she sits on the couch. It's that heartfelt moment that people are looking for in you. And if you can do that regularly, more than your competition, more than anybody in your industry, and you do it from a genuine place, people will be able to see that, and they'll contact you, ask you about your cost and services. I'll give you an example. I have a company that follows me, and they kind of have conversations about Generation Z, and they said to me, you look like you're really good at on LinkedIn, Would you be able to do a live with us so that you can talk about how important LinkedIn is for the Gen Z, because the Gen Z want to be on Instagram and I guess YouTube and TikTok? And I said, absolutely. Why? They said, that's the magic key, is they said, you look like you know what you're talking about on LinkedIn. Now, let's say I was the YEG writer, the Makita, a year ago. I doubt I'd get an invitation like that, because all I was sharing was stock photos and sunrises and sunsets, and that has nothing to do with my industry. And I understand now why people used to say, do you write? Are you in marketing? Like scratching their head, what do you do? It's because I didn't give them a reason to understand what I did, but I do that every day now. So I hope that each and every one of you are learning from what I'm sharing here. Does anyone have any questions at all? Don't be shy. I'm here to add as much value to this conversation as much as possible, because I want to see you win. I want to see you be able to have great conversations with people so that they start asking you to go live with them, or they start paying you to show up unannounced for a brand deal or whatever the case may be. So I'll just wait here a bit and see if you have any questions. After this, what I'll do is I'll put up a poll, and I'm letting all of you control my topic every day. I'll put up a poll after this. I'll put about 4 options, and you let me know what you want to see. If there's anything that anybody wants to see from me this week, let me know. I'll continue to go live Monday through Friday until September 22nd. I believe that's the first day of fall here in Canada, at least. And yeah, I want to show up for you. I'm testing myself. I'm challenging myself. That's the other thing, too, is when you start connecting with people, and I'll give you an example, and this has never happened to me before in the 2 years of me being here on Instagram. I went to an event on Sunday here in my city, and I bumped into about 6 people who knew we follow each other here on Instagram, and I had no idea they were going to be there, and I've never met most of these people, and one person came to me, and I did not recognize them because they share a lot of different kinds of content, and they said, I recognized you. So when you can go out of your city and you're at an event of creative people or people in your industry, and somebody comes up to you and says, I recognized you from Instagram, that's really, I'm not telling you that's what you want to be, but it's great to me because it means I'm doing something right. It means I'm doing something different. And that's what people want to see. And people tell me all the time, like, I really admire you for what you do. You show up with a smile. And this is not about me. It's about you. It's about answering your questions. I wish I had access to this information that I'm sharing when I first started on Instagram. But I'm definitely glad to show up for each and every one of you and help you. So it looks like nobody has any questions, but that's okay. So I'm going to add a poll on my Instagram story, and you can let me know what you want to see. I'll be here 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I'll be answering your questions about different things. And again, if anybody has any other ideas outside of what I put on the story, send me a direct message, and I'll see what I can do to help. Okay, thank you so much for showing up, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have a good weekend. Chat soon. Bye.